California coastline endangering beachside homes.
Emergency crews have been very busy today, and we're along Fashion Valley Road where you can see this Jeep.
Now, powerful storms in the Pacific are creating.
Across America, events are unfolding that make your stomach drop. Moments that don't feel random, moments that feel connected. In Southern California, the ground suddenly gave way. No warning, no buildup. Along the Pacific coast, winter storms are slamming the shoreline with walls of water few have ever seen. 60-foot waves crashing where they shouldn't exist. From San Diego to Seattle, flooding is reshaping coastlines. Even Alaska is reporting movement, rising from beneath the surface. Individually, each event could be dismissed, but together, they feel like alarm bells ringing at the same time. This isn't one isolated disaster. It's pressure building from every direction. Water, earth, atmosphere, all shifting within the same window of time. And that's what keeps people awake at night. Not a single catastrophe, but the realization that multiple warnings are appearing simultaneously. So what is really happening? Are these extreme but natural cycles? Or are we witnessing a convergence that demands closer attention? In this video, we're breaking it down. What occurred, what experts are saying, and why so many Americans feel like something bigger is unfolding. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you're seeing where you live. Stay with us, because what's happening right now deserves a closer look. Officials in Encinitas, California just issued an urgent alert that nobody wanted to hear. The Southern California coastline just got violently redrawn in ways that defy recent memory. Luxury homes worth millions are now perched terrifyingly close to oblivion after an entire hillside simply vanished beneath them. This wasn't gradual deterioration over generations. This happened fast, while relentless waves kept hammering California's cliffs with savage force, pushing scientists to publicly acknowledge that something abnormal is happening beneath our coastal foundation, where the Pacific meets California's rugged edge. The shoreline refuses to follow the patterns experts spent years predicting. Every single day, monstrous waves detonate against sheer rock faces, launching columns of white water skyward, their booming impacts reverberating like warfare in the distance. What used to arrive seasonally now feels permanent. What used to be predictable has become wildly unstable. As the ocean batters the land without mercy, the earth itself is answering back with fractures, sudden cave-ins, and failures that arrive without announcement, leaving even scientists scrambling for explanations they don't yet have. From Big Sur down to Santa Cruz, from Malibu stretching to San Diego, the evidence is appearing almost simultaneously across hundreds of miles. Highways crack open with zero warning. Cliffsides shed massive boulders in eerie silence. Asphalt buckles and sags toward the hungry sea. Entire stretches of coastline retreat overnight like they're surrendering territory. To the geologists monitoring this coastline, we've crossed a threshold. This stopped being normal erosion a while ago. What we're witnessing now is a shoreline getting brutalized by relentless assault. And every human attempt to control or anticipate it is proving heartbreakingly inadequate. The first undeniable signal didn't arrive from the ocean's fury. It came from the roads we drive every day. Across multiple coastal counties, delicate fractures started appearing along highways that hugged the cliff tops. Initially, they looked insignificant, easy to brush off as nothing serious. But within weeks, those hairline cracks began expanding. Pavement sections dropped several inches without warning. Guardrails tilted dangerously toward the water below. In several critical locations, entire road segments just collapsed straight into the Pacific, sometimes while the sun was down, triggering immediate evacuations and emergency route shutdowns. Aerial drone surveys exposed what remained hidden from ground level. Massive voids lurking beneath the pavement. The foundation had been hollowed out from below by decades of invisible erosion that suddenly kicked into overdrive. By the time we reached 2026, engineering teams made a disturbing discovery. In certain areas, the cliffs weren't even solid structures anymore. They'd become weakened layers of sediment, waterlogged from rainfall, and constantly undermined by wave action from below. The safety buffer had completely evaporated. What makes this precise moment so uniquely dangerous is how multiple destructive forces are colliding perfectly. Record-shattering rainfall drenched the coastal bluffs, making them heavier while simultaneously destroying their internal integrity. Meanwhile, elevated sea levels push waves higher up the cliff walls, attacking rock formations that have been untouched for centuries. Rain compromised the cliffs from within. Waves carved away the foundation from below. Internal fractures spread upward like spiderwebs. Gravity just waited for its moment to finish what the other forces started. The outcome? Sudden, catastrophic failure with virtually no visible advance notice. Scientists emphasize that timing becomes everything in these scenarios. A cliff face can look perfectly stable for months on end, then completely fail in mere seconds without changing its appearance beforehand. By mid-2026, coastal research teams started choosing their words with unusual caution. They deliberately avoid labeling it unprecedented, yet they're willing to admit on record that coastal behavior has fundamentally shifted. Wave energy distribution is transforming. Storm trajectories are becoming increasingly chaotic. Erosion rates are outpacing every long-term projection model they build. What troubles them most deeply? The synchronization. Cliff collapses are happening across geographically distant regions at virtually identical moments, pointing towards some broader systemic force at work rather than random local incidents scattered across time. Some researchers point fingers at long-term ocean rise, combined with shifting Pacific wind corridors. Others sound alarms that coastal cliff formations might be hitting critical tipping points, where structures that stood firm for centuries suddenly lose their battle against physics. Standing before these unfolding scenes, countless people experience a profound helplessness. Technology observes, science takes measurements. But when solid ground itself betrays us and gives way, human confidence just evaporates into nothing. Scripture addresses moments precisely like this one. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 19 declares, "The earth is utterly broken, the earth is split apart, the earth is violently shaken." And Psalm 93, verse 3 told us long ago, "The floods have lifted up, O Lord, the floods have lifted up their voice." These ancient words don't decode every technical detail for us, but they carry a powerful reminder. Creation itself has always possessed a voice, and sometimes that voice functions as a warning we'd be foolish to ignore. When multiple signs converge together, when stability crumbles without making a sound, the question stops being merely what's happening and becomes, how do we respond? Do these events cause us to pause our routines, to genuinely reflect and to pray with intention? Drop your prayers in the comments below. Let's pursue wisdom and protection as a community. Early in 2026, the United States confronted extreme winter storm surges unlike anything witnessed in many years. Along the entire West Coast, wave heights climbed to levels typically associated only with the most powerful El Niño events on record. But what genuinely alarmed the scientific community wasn't just the sheer size of these waves. It was their relentless, unbroken arrival pattern. Swell after massive swell rolled in from the Pacific, with virtually no recovery period between them. The ocean seemed incapable of resting. Each wave carried extraordinary energy, detonating directly against the base of coastal cliffs with devastating force. Seawater got violently forced deep into ancient cracks and fissures that had formed over centuries, while trapped air compressed explosively inside the rock structure. With every surge forward and retreat backward, internal pressure accumulated. Over time, what appeared to be solid stone stopped behaving like a stable barrier and started acting like a brittle, fragile shell, slowly weakening from the inside out where nobody could see the damage happening. Monitoring sensors positioned along the coastline started revealing what human eyes couldn't detect. Micro vibrations intensified within the cliff structures. Retreat rates accelerated dramatically, measured not across years anymore, but in centimeters per week. Sharp acoustic pops began echoing to the bedrock itself. The literal sound of stone failing internally. Scientists describe what they were witnessing as a coastline experiencing physical fatigue, worn down not by one dramatic impact event, but by constant, unrelenting force that never granted any recovery time. Watching these waves arrive endlessly, many people experience a profound sense of powerlessness. No barrier stood tall enough. No human technology possessed sufficient strength to stop the ocean once it began moving with this kind of determination. Human control felt microscopic as nature pressed forward again and again and again, reminding everyone just how fragile even solid ground truly becomes. An unprecedented event just exploded across the West Coast that nobody saw coming. Massive 60-foot waves started absolutely hammering the shoreline with force that exceeded every expectation, transforming California's coast into an active war zone and pushing danger from San Diego's southernmost beaches all the way north to Washington state's boundary. These waves aren't merely taller than anything documented in decades. They're faster and exponentially more violent than defenses were ever engineered to handle. Seawalls constructed for once-in-a-century storm scenarios are getting completely overtopped within minutes of impact. Roads are being violently torn apart. Homes are shaking down to their foundations. And entire neighborhoods are being split into a stark before and after reality. What once felt like familiar oceanfront territory has transformed into scenes of absolute chaos, widespread panic, and devastating loss. Facing this overwhelming power, human beings are left feeling painfully, achingly small. Families scramble desperately through debris-choked water, searching for safety. Neighbors lift children and elderly grandparents across floating wreckage that used to be someone's home. Emergency shelters overflow with those who had zero time to rescue anything except their own lives. In moments like these, human strength, cutting-edge technology, and meticulous planning suddenly feel pathetically fragile against nature's raw, unstoppable force. Psalm 46, verse 3 reminds us that such moments carry ancient echoes. The waves of the sea were roaring, the mountains were quaking in their surging. And Jesus himself warned in Luke chapter 21, verse 11, there will be great earthquakes, famines, and fearful events, and great signs from heaven. These words resonate with haunting clarity as the ocean rises higher and our defenses crumble like sandcastles. Severe flooding is now spreading like a disease from San Diego all the way to Seattle's northern reach. City streets have vanished underwater as seawater pushes past every barricade, seeps beneath doors, and washes away places that once felt permanent, stable, and safe. Aerial views over Santa Monica reveal entire boardwalk sections fractured and simply gone. Families stand behind evacuation perimeters, helplessly watching the ocean devour familiar ground they walked on just days before. The consequences are unfolding with brutal speed and painful clarity. Parking structures split open as the ground literally sinks beneath advancing water. Palm trees topple over with their root systems grotesquely exposed to the air. Coastal power systems begin cascading into failure. Something feels different right now. All across America, we're watching moments unfold that make your stomach drop. Like ancient warnings are suddenly playing out before our eyes in real time. Southern California's ground just gave way without asking permission. Winter storms are throwing walls of water at our shores like we've never witnessed. The Pacific coast is getting absolutely pounded by 60-foot monsters that shouldn't exist. From San Diego's beaches all the way north to Seattle's waterfront, flooding is rewriting the map, and even Alaska can't escape what's rising from below. Here's what makes your skin crawl. This isn't one disaster happening in isolation. These are alarm bells ringing simultaneously. Pressure mounting from every direction, everything converging at once. The thing that keeps people awake isn't a single catastrophe. It's the creeping realization that multiple warnings are showing up together, right now, in the same breath. While all this chaos unfolds, America keeps broadcasting its message in a language all its own. If you understand what's really happening to this nation, drop your thoughts and prayers down in the comments. We need to hear from you. Officials in Encinitas, California just issued an urgent alert that nobody wanted to hear. The Southern California coastline just got violently redrawn in ways that defy recent memory. Luxury homes worth millions are now perched terrifyingly close to oblivion after an entire hillside simply vanished beneath them. This wasn't gradual deterioration over generations. This happened fast. While relentless waves kept hammering California's cliffs with savage force, pushing scientists to publicly acknowledge that something abnormal is happening beneath our coastal foundation. Where the Pacific meets California's rugged edge, the shoreline refuses to follow the patterns experts spent years predicting. Every single day, monstrous waves detonate against sheer rock faces, launching columns of white water skyward, their booming impacts reverberating like warfare in the distance. What used to arrive seasonally now feels permanent. What used to be predictable has become wildly unstable. As the ocean batters a land without mercy, the Earth itself is answering back with fractures, sudden cave-ins, and failures that arrive without announcement, leaving even the scientists scrambling for explanations they don't yet have. The landscape is shifting beneath our feet in ways that challenge everything we thought we understood about stability and permanence. Geologists who studied these formations for decades are finding themselves revising models they once considered ironclad. The confidence that came from years of data is being replaced by uncertainty that nobody wants to admit out loud. What's particularly unsettling is the speed at which change is accelerating. Erosion patterns that forecasters predicted would take 50 years to develop are manifesting in mere months. Coastal monitoring stations are recording measurements that fall completely outside their expected ranges, triggering alarms that were designed to catch anomalies but are now sounding almost daily.